The final key element, the fifth one of emotional intelligence, is social skills. Now, amazingly enough, we are on social media. Most people who will watch this, whether live or on a replay or listen on Apple Podcasts, will be on some form of social media. But yet, somehow, we have decreased our social skills, our ability to interact with one another because we go on social media and much like our life experience where we are us and we're just happening to people. If you really think of it that way, like I walk around all day and I'm happening to you, but I'm not happening to myself. So I don't get to see me and like how I come off. So like I could look at you and judge everything about you on how you coming off, but I don't ever get to experience my own energy in that way, right? My own presence. I don't get to experience my presence in that way. I believe social media is the same. Facebook says, what's on your mind? Twitter or X, say your thoughts. So we're all just pouring our thoughts at one another, but we've lost the ability to weave those thoughts together for a conversation and interaction, dialogue that's healthy. And what do I mean by that? People are so emotionally triggered. If you just mention a topic, they will like just go off. Like if I said reproductive rights, it's people that just go off, right? That like, first of all, they've rebranded it as reproductive rights. I think that's the abortion debate, right? So you have the abortion debate that depending on what side a person is on, no one wants to actually have the conversation. Everyone wants to just say what they think and go at people and lose their cool. And I just don't see how that's better for anyone. So as an example, somebody might say, hey, only women can have an opinion about that. Let's talk about that. That's interesting to me. So you're saying that only a woman, I'm just sharing with y'all how I think, right? Respectfully. And if you're emotionally intelligent, this is how we would engage each other. So I'm purposely bringing up something controversial in a harmless way, in at least a well-meaning way, just to discuss something to practice your emotional intelligence skills, because you may agree with me or you may disagree with me, right? But so let's say person A says only women should be talking about this issue. I will say, you know what? Emotionally, I can see how that triggers people and it sounds right on the surface, right? Because we live in a sensitive society. And again, we go with the first feeling that we have. Yeah, that's right. The woman is the one pregnant. She should be the one discussing. And then you call it reproductive rights. It just started being called that. I never heard that before last year. I guess it doesn't sound as harsh or as strong as abortion. So I'm like, okay, cool. Well, are you saying that if two people were involved in something and then the one person is carrying the thing from the involvement, that the carrier is the only one who makes a decision? And let's just say you say yes. Then I'll say, okay. So imagine me and you are business partners. We start a business together. Because the last time I checked, that man has something to do with that pregnancy. All right, great. So it took two people. Definitely you needed him to get that in there. Okay, cool. So let's say me and you start a business together and I definitely had a lot to do with the money we made. But it was an agreement to put the money in a safe in your office, right? So it's like, okay, this money that we made together, we equally own this business. We put it in a safe. There was never anything signed that said I was signing this over to you or whatever. No, like we went into a joint business and the safe happened to be located in a property that you own. And now there's $1 million in that safe. Are you telling me that, let's flip it, right? Let's flip it. The safe is in my house and you help me with the business. Yeah, that's how I want you to answer. You help me with this business. The safe is in my house. It has $1 million in it. You equally had as much to do with making this $1 million as me. And then I tell you, no, I'm the carrier. They're my rights. You don't get a say so with this Millie, son. Is anybody going to sit up and tell me that because it's your safe, that the business we operated together, the money was deposited in, that you have now 100% say over it. Now, let's also go a little deeper, because even though I think that's a good example, money is not a child. Meaning this. Let's say what I deposited in you comes out with my face on it. Has my nose, my feet, it looks, has my blood. Like, do you understand that this is a joint business venture that was designed for some materials to go from here to there? It's a seed and a ground. And the seed has to be planted in the ground. And then it grows and produces fruit. Man, the farmer isn't the ground. So like, you know, you think about like a person that's a farmer, they plant the seed, they grow the fruit, and then they go sell it. Like, he's not the carrier. What I'm saying is, if I'm being emotionally intelligent, that logic doesn't pass any test. The logic is flawed because it's simply based on a surface level of emotion that gives all of the rights to someone who only did 50% of the work. Not saying it's not an important part. Not saying it, like, I want to say something, right? If, you know, let's talk about this, since the UAW and the strikes and all these things happen in the auto industry. Let's say on an assembly line, I've never worked in an automotive plant, so I'm not sure. This could be the worst example ever, but just follow me. Let's say there's a car that we're building, right? So the car is the finished product. The car is the baby. I work